helps them by providing them more information, more evidence about the likelihood of a favorable outcome. So in general, when managers make a decision, they think they have a lot of information and they're very certain about, if I do this, that will come out. But when you look at it, it's usually based on a flimsy little bit of evidence or just their personal opinion or whatsoever. And by using an evidence-based approach, you get better information about how much uncertainty there is and how likely it is that if we do A, then B will come out. And of course, we do this by looking at multiple sources of evidence, not only your personal opinion, but also asking experienced people in the organization, look at the organizational data, and look at the scientific evidence and ask the stakeholders. And that gives you a more rich, reliable source of evidence. And based on that evidence, you can make a better estimate and figure out how likely is it, given all the evidence, that if we do A, then B will come out. The evidence for the overall evidence-based approach, that would be hard to get, because that would mean that we would do a sort of randomized controlled trial over 20 organizations where we randomize 10 organizations taking a not evidence-based approach and 10 other organizations to take an evidence-based approach on the same topic or different topics in different contexts, and then try to figure out if there's a difference in the outcome. That won't happen. However, the elements of evidence-based practice, there's an abundance of evidence, studies, not only one, but decades of research demonstrating that these elements are very, very important when you make a decision. In fact, there are several Nobel Prizes on these elements. So for instance, you probably know about how one of the elements is that our judgment, human reasoning, it can be very flawed. So we know from a lot of research that in general, our brains are very good in making decisions, provided that we have evidence from multiple sources that is reliable, etc. If we have only our personal experience or the opinion of one person, then stuff goes wrong. And so many studies have demonstrated that in those cases, our decision making, our judgment is very prone to stuff like confirmation bias. We have a strong belief and therefore we see confirmation of our beliefs, or we see causal patterns everywhere. We recognize that this happened because of that, and actually it did not. That's where our brain, our system one kicks in, as we call it, and we make judgments that are actually very flawed. And using evidence from multiple sources and being in a situation where you can discuss the trustworthiness of the evidence you have definitely will improve the quality of your decision-making process. The other thing is that we know that people are biased, but we know that if we take an evidence-based approach in the context of an organization, then in general, people fall less prone to biases. So it's very hard to improve the decision-making process within one person, an individual, but in a team or in an setting of an organization, there's a lot of research demonstrating that if you use multiple sources, consider multiple options, then the decision-making process will improve.